Crypt right now, one of Allah's 99 sacred names is more active in your life than all the others. It's shaping your personality, influencing your choices, determining your spiritual path. Ibn Arabi called this your dominant divine attribute. And once you discover which one it is, everything about your life will make perfect sense. But here's what most people don't understand. You're not just a human being who worships God from a distance. According to Ibn Arabi, you are a living manifestation of divine qualities, a walking expression of Allah's beautiful names. And this understanding changes everything about how you see yourself and your purpose in existence. 800 years ago, Ibn Arabi made a discovery that would revolutionize Islamic mysticism. While scholars debated the meanings of Allah's 99 names in books, Ibn Arabi was experiencing something far more profound. He realized that these names weren't just divine concepts to be studied. They were living realities expressing themselves through human consciousness. In his writings, he explained the human being is the perfect mirror in which all of Allah's names and attributes are reflected. But in each individual, certain names dominate while others remain dormant. Think about this for a moment. When Allah created you, He didn't create you randomly. According to Ibn Arabi's teaching, your soul was designed to be a unique expression of specific divine qualities. Some people embody the quality of boundless mercy. Others manifest divine wisdom. Still others express divine beauty or divine power. But here's the mystery. Which of Allah's names are most active in your being? And why does this matter so much? Ibn Arabi taught that when you understand your dominant divine attributes, you unlock the secret to your deepest nature. Suddenly, your struggles make sense. Your talents become clear. Your spiritual path reveals itself. You're no longer stumbling in the dark, wondering who you are and what you're meant to do. You're living in alignment with the divine qualities Allah placed within you. Let me give you an example. Consider someone whose dominant attribute is divine compassion, the merciful. This person will find themselves naturally drawn to helping others, feeling others' pain as if it were their own. Unable to turn away from suffering, they might struggle with boundaries, giving too much of themselves, feeling overwhelmed by the world's pain. But once they understand that they're expressing Allah's mercy through their being, everything shifts. Their sensitivity becomes a gift. Their caring becomes a form of worship. Their tendency to help others becomes their spiritual path. Or take someone dominated by divine wisdom, the wise one. They're the ones everyone comes to for advice. They see patterns others miss, understand the deeper meanings behind events, often feel frustrated when others can't see what seems obvious to them. When they realize they're manifestations of divine wisdom, they understand that their role is to be channels of Allah's guidance. Their insights aren't just personal opinions, they're expressions of divine knowledge flowing through them. But Ibn Arabi went even deeper. He taught that most people live unconsciously, expressing their dominant divine names without awareness. This unconscious expression often creates problems. Someone manifesting divine power might become controlling and harsh instead of expressing righteous strength. Someone embodying divine beauty might become vain and superficial instead of reflecting Allah's aesthetic perfection. The key is conscious alignment with your divine nature. When you know which of Allah's names flow most strongly through you, you can express them in their highest form. But how do you discover your dominant divine names? Ibn Arabi gave you specific signs to look for. First, observe what comes most naturally to you. What do people consistently notice about you? What qualities do others seek from you? If people always come to you for comfort, you might be expressing divine mercy. If they seek your guidance in difficult decisions, divine wisdom may be dominant in you. If you naturally create harmony wherever you go, you might embody divine peace. Second, notice what challenges you most. Ibn Arabi taught that our greatest struggles often point to our strongest divine attributes expressing themselves in unbalanced ways. Someone who struggles with anger might actually be expressing divine justice in a distorted form. Someone who struggles with people-pleasing might be expressing divine love without proper boundaries. Third, pay attention to what moves you most to apply. What aspects of Allah's creation bring tears to your eyes? What injustices make you want to act? What beauty stops you in your tracks? Your deepest emotional responses often reveal which divine qualities resonate most strongly in your soul. Ibn Arabi also taught about the spiritual dangers of not knowing your dominant divine names. When you're unconscious of your divine nature, you express these qualities in their lower manifestations. Divine power becomes domination. Divine mercy becomes weakness. Divine wisdom becomes pride. Divine beauty becomes vanity. But when you consciously align with your divine attributes, something miraculous happens. You begin to express these qualities in their highest form. Your divine mercy becomes true compassion that heals without enabling. Your divine wisdom becomes guidance that illuminates without condemning. Your divine power becomes strength that protects without oppressing. This is what Ibn Arabi called the perfect human. Not someone who is flawless, but someone who consciously embodies their divine attributes in their purest expression. But there's an even deeper layer to this teaching. Ibn Arabi revealed that your dominant divine names also determine your spiritual path. If you embody divine mercy, your path to Allah will likely be through service to others. If you manifest divine wisdom, your path may be through teaching and guidance. If you express divine beauty, you might reach Allah through art, poetry, or contemplation of creation's beauty. This is why spiritual practices that work powerfully for one person might feel empty for another. You're not just following a generic path. You're walking the specific road that aligns with your divine nature. Ibn Arabi also taught that your divine names evolve throughout your life. At different stages, different attributes become more dominant. A young person might express divine power as they establish themselves in the world. In midlife, divine wisdom might emerge more strongly. In later years, divine peace might become their primary expression. But here's what's truly extraordinary. Ibn Arabi claimed that advanced souls can consciously activate different divine names as needed. They become like skilled musicians who can play different instruments depending on what the moment requires. In one situation, they express divine mercy, in another, divine justice, in another, divine beauty. This is the ultimate goal of Ibn Arabi's teaching about the divine names. Not just to know which ones dominate in you, but to become a clear channel for whichever divine quality is most needed in each moment. But let's be practical. How can you begin to work with your dominant divine names right now? First, spend time in reflection. Look at your life patterns. What themes keep appearing? What do people consistently tell you about yourself? What are your deepest longings and your greatest fears? These patterns often point to your primary divine attributes. Second, study Allah's 99 names with this new understanding. Don't just memorize their meanings. Contemplate how each one might express itself through human consciousness. Which ones resonate most deeply? When you read about them, which ones make you think, yes, this is how I experience life? Third, begin to consciously align your actions with your divine nature. If you embody divine generosity, look for opportunities to give that serve others' highest good. If you manifest divine patience, practice that patience as a form of worship, not just as a personality trait. Fourth, pay attention to when you're expressing your divine names in their distorted forms and gently correct course. Remember, the goal isn't perfection. It's conscious alignment with your divine nature. Ibn Arabi taught that this work is not just personal development. It's your participation in Allah's ongoing creation. When you express your divine attributes consciously, you become what he called a pen in Allah's hand, writing beauty and truth into the world. This understanding also transforms how you see others, everyone around you, as expressing different combinations of Allah's names. That person who frustrates you with their intensity might be manifesting divine passion. That person who seems too gentle might be expressing divine mercy. When you see others as expressions of divine qualities, judgment transforms into wonder. The mystics say that on the day of judgment, we won't be asked why we weren't like someone else. We'll be asked why we weren't fully ourselves, why we didn't express the divine qualities. Allah placed within us. Your dominant divine names are not accidents of personality. They're your unique contribution to the symphony of creation. They're how Allah chose to express certain aspects of His infinite nature through your finite form. When you live in alignment with these divine qualities, you experience what Ibn Arabi called the joy of the attributes, the deep satisfaction that comes from being exactly who Allah created you to be, expressing exactly what He placed within you to express doubt. So ask yourself, which of all His beautiful names are trying to express themselves through your life? What divine qualities have you been unconsciously manifesting? And how might your life change if you began to consciously align with the divine nature Allah embedded in your very soul? The answer to these questions isn't just personal insight. It's the key to your spiritual fulfillment and your unique service to creation. Because when you become a conscious expression of Allah's names, you don't just transform your own life. You become a source of divine quality.